welcome to Performance Kitchen. My name is Tessa Seward, also known as London Paleo Girl and part of the Good Food Co. I'm really excited today to have MBE awarded former Olympic swimmer, absolute superstar, Katy Sexton. Welcome.
Hi.
So how are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. Right, firstly, what are we going to be cooking today?
I'm going to cook a pasta bake. It was a recipe that was one of my ex-boyfriend's Nan's. I've kind of stolen a little bit from her. But it used to be very nutritious after a hard training session.
Okay, so what's it going to involve?
I've got some chicken breasts and bacon, pasta obviously, some soup, a little bit of sweet corn and some peas, probably a bit more for colour than anything, and lots of cheese, because cheese is probably a bit of my weakness.
Is it? Okay,
Yes.
Excellent. Where shall we start?
I'm going to get the pasta boiling to start with, and then going to chop up some chicken.
Excellent. So is this one of your is this something you cook regularly, or you had it more when you're competing?
It used to probably be something I cook towards the end of a hard week training. It'd be very filling after a hard session. At the end of the week, it's probably something you needed a little bit more than anything else.
And is it something you'd have before you'd be training or competing, or would it be afterwards?
It'd be after training. Definitely after training, because before a competition you'd want to cut down a little bit on the amount of carbs you'd eat, purely because you didn't want to put on weight because you'd been training so much, and obviously the carb loading at that point is not necessary. So yeah, we can shove that in. I don't really measure things when I cook. I just sort of feel the pot and
size? Is that for a few, or just
it lasts more than one meal, so it's normally quite good. If we start chopping up the chicken,
go ahead.
This is the fun bit.
So tell me about your MBE.
It's quite exciting really, because I was 21 when I was awarded it. Just had a letter arrived on my doormat one day saying, would you like to accept it? Because you don't have to accept them. But yeah, it was amazing. Got to go up to Buckingham Palace, take the whole family. So mum, dad and sister could all come and join me. And it's nice because it's not very often that they get to share those special moments. Because if you're training abroad or competing abroad, sometimes financially it's difficult to get there. And I know, like with the Olympics, it's very difficult sometimes cost-wise to get out there. And you don't get extra tickets as an athlete in any capacity. There's no freebies on that one, so it's all self-funded to get there, which is, I think, quite harsh.
So you started sort of professionally when you were 13?
Yes, that's probably when I thought, oh, this is a little bit more serious now.
Yeah.
I had my first selection for European Youth Olympics, and that was in Bath, so I can say I've done a home Olympics, even though I didn't quite make London. Everything. Right, let's get this chicken on the...
Perfect.
So we're going to put a little bit of oil in the pan.
The heat's okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. So what's next after the chicken?
We'll do the bacon, fry off the bacon a little bit, just lightly fry it. Then that'll need cutting up when it's cooked. I find it easier to cut up when it is cooked.
So this is, even though it's quite protein filled, it is quite, obviously with the pasta, quite carb heavy.
Yeah.
Do you find that now when you were competing that was kind of fine because you were burning so many calories?
I think I was quite lucky because obviously you're swimming, the amount of training you do is quite a lot. It was probably sort of 25 hours a week in the pool, something ridiculous. I look back now and I think, how did I ever manage to do that?
Yeah, that is a lot.
So obviously the amount of food we could eat would obviously compensate for that, because you'd just burn off so much in the pool every session anyway, because you'd be in the water for 2 hours, 2.5 hours at a time. This is cooking up nicely.
Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, so what's next? The chicken's nearly done.
Yeah, we're just going to add the bacon in just to fry that off slightly. Just use the same pan, it makes it a little bit easier.
One pan for all, love it.
Yeah, saves on the washing up.
Yep.
So we're just going to fry off the bacon a little bit.
All cooking very well. It smells amazing.
I know, I love the smell of bacon. It's always so tempting
I know,
as well, isn't
exactly.
it?
Sometimes when I cook, I end up eating all the food actually before it makes it to the dish.
Yeah, I'm not very good at not picking as I go along, especially with the cheese. So
you have a huge achievement, which was you're the first or the only British woman to get the gold medal. Is that correct?
yeah, I was the first British female to win a World Championship gold medal, which is
That's
what I was
incredible.
awarded my MBE for. So that was pretty special.
That's amazing. Would you say that was like the highlight of your kind of career, achieving that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it frustrates me as well because my time from the World Championships, which was in 2003, would have won me the gold medal in Athens if I'd have been on my game, but I was a little bit unwell at the time. So although I made the Olympic final there, I didn't come away with the ever elusive Olympic medal that everybody wants. So that was quite a difficult point in my career because you go from a massive high to a sort of a low straight away afterwards. So
yeah, that must have been quite a hard thing to sort of deal with and come round to, and then still sort of carry on. And,
yeah,
and
I
keep
think
going.
you carry on sometimes because you don't know what else to do. You don't know what else you're good at. So.
And you had when did you have quite a bad, was it a shoulder injury?
Yes, that was in 2001. So I think this is just about ready actually.
Perfect. So I'm not being a very good assistant. I'm just doing everything.
It's all right, you're just enjoying the savouring the smell.
So from when you were training, what would be like a daily breakfast through to dinner meal?
I'd probably have 2 breakfasts, one before training in the morning and one after.
And what would they be of?
I'd probably have cereal before training in the morning, just 'cause it was something easy to just shove it in your throat before you get in the pool. But it was one of those things you had to juggle. Do I get up extra early and eat and let it go down, or do I just risk that I might feel a bit queasy in the pool this morning? Which is normally what happened, and I think after a while you get used to it. There's always that myth you shouldn't swim on a full stomach, but
Yeah, I have heard that, and about if you eat just before you swim, you can drown. Is that? That's probably not true.
well, I'm okay. It's never happened to me.
Don't know where I heard that one.
I think the majority of swimmers, you eat on the go because you just refuel because you need to. So you just manage it when you can, and you eat little and often. I'd kind of probably graze a lot of the day. Lunchtime, if I was at school, I'd have sandwiches, probably about 3 lots, because that was a bit more of a bulky meal, and then a decent meal in the evening, and then probably a snack before bed. Probably about 7 meals in total.
The amount of training, if you're doing like the sort of 25 hours a week, did you say, of training?
Yeah, and that wouldn't all be in the pool. It'd be some of the sort of gym-based and weight training and stuff as well.
So even when you were, very young, was it not just in the pool? It's outside as well.
I think we used to do sort of like core stability stuff. So. Abdominal exercises and shoulder stability exercises just to try and help prevent injuries. I was very lucky with my land coach because he was a physio as well on the GB team, so everything we learnt from him, you knew it was the right stuff to do. And we'd have a regimented training plan of 15 minutes of that every day before the morning or evening session, so you'd have those home skills in for shoulder prevention, because obviously the amount of repetitions your shoulders do every session is a ridiculous amount.
So the pasta is now cooked. Should we put this in here?
And I'm just going to leave it in that bowl a minute. I'm going to add the soup into the bowl.
So what exactly is this soup?
It's just cream of chicken soup.
Straight from the tin, easy.
Yeah, nice
Perfect.
and simple, the way I like cooking the best.
Great.
I'm just going to stir that in a little bit. Sometimes find
It's
it's
like
easier,
a
you've got a little bit more.
carbonara sheet kind of going on here.
Yeah,
It's creamy.
shush, don't tell everyone my secret. So then I'm going to add the bacon in. Because you can actually make this without the bacon or just with the chicken, so if you're not fancying one or you haven't got it lying around, then it makes it easier.
Yeah.
And we shove the chicken in as well.
So this is basically all cooked now, isn't it? The meat's
Yes.
all cooked, but then obviously finish it off in the oven.
Yeah, just to crisp it off a little bit and make the pasta a little bit crunchy. And the cheese, the favourite bit, the cheese.
So why did you decide to cook this today?
This is probably my go-to meal in the week when I'd be really hungry at the end of a week. Just give that a stir in. It was nutritious, it's got the protein, it's got the carbs, and it's just really tasty.
And in terms of the pasta, is it just a normal
Add a little bit of
grain
cheese in here.
pasta?
Yeah, just normal pasta. So that's my secret ingredient, is put a little bit of the cheese in with the actual sauce.
Now it's smelling like carbon.
And then I'm going to throw in the sweet corn.
The bowl is just about to be
yeah,
big enough.
perfect amount. And the peas. So just frozen peas, just because it looks a bit yellow and boring otherwise. Got to have a bit of colour in there. That's where it normally goes everywhere. This is what my dog comes in handy for. She'll pick up the scraps off the floor.
Doing well.
Then we're just going to shove it into a big bowl. It's always nice because it's always leftovers if you're just eating it on your own.
I noticed you train a lot. If you could get through that whole bowl in one evening, that'd be pretty impressive.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat it all on my own. But it's nice because then you can either freeze what's left or throw it on the floor.
You won't worry about that then.
No.
So the oven is on. Is this going on at 180?
Yeah, just for about 25 minutes to half an hour, and then just sprinkle the rest of the cheese on the top. Makes it really flavoursome.
It's great, and that was really easy and straightforward.
Yes, and that goes straight in the oven.
Brilliant. It's been about 20 minutes. Do you think it's ready?
I think so. If the cheese is nicely browned on the top. Oh yeah, that
That
smells
looks
good, too.
perfect. It smells incredible. Very hot.
Yeah, smells
So
good.
this really is, it's a great dish, I guess, for you and when you're training, for families. It's been
and it's so easy. I mean, you could add extra vegetables if you wanted to, if you didn't like peas or carrots or anything like that.
Yeah, it's a proper old school dish.
Yeah.
So in your career, whereabouts are you at the moment? Are you still competing? Or?
I'm doing a little bit of competing. It's at a master's level in swimming now. So it's anybody aged 18 to over 100 that still likes to swim. And it's nice because it's a little bit more relaxed. I can actually be at a competition and enjoy it rather than have the stress of you've got to win a medal. And if you get any medals now, it's just a bonus.
Exactly. So are you doing it as part of like a company? Do you have like a swim academy?
I've got my own swim academy, but that's predominantly Learn to Swim. That was just something that I set up about 6 years ago, purely to help the community that supported me in my career and to give those kids the opportunity to swim the same I learnt, and purely so it's fun and you live by the sea. So that was my motives behind that.
Do you feel now there's more of a nutrition kind of sort of input, and especially for athletes as well? Do you think there's more kind of guidance or more set diets or counting macros? Is that kind of come into play?
I think there is a lot more now. I think people are a lot more aware of what they're putting in their bodies, and when you're an athlete, that's your fuel. You wouldn't put the wrong fuel in a car because it wouldn't work. So it's just about refining those things and enjoying what you eat as well, I think.
Yeah, definitely. This smells incredible. Ready to dig in?
Yes, let's dish some of that up. So I like the crispy bits of pasta at the top.
It smells so good. So would that be a normal portion size for you now, or if you were competing?
That'd probably be something for now. I do like to think if there's any left, then I can have seconds if I want seconds.
Have you ever counted macros or had to throughout your career?
I think I've been quite lucky that I haven't had to. It's been something obviously within swimming that you can eat what you want to a degree.
So what about a McDonald's? Have you had to kind of put in the cheat meals as well?
I think in every aspect you can have a moderation with something else. Because if you starve, I think if you like with chocolate, I like chocolate, everyone's got a sweet tooth, I think, deep down. That's my weakness. If I fancy a bar of chocolate, if I have it, it satisfies that craving.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you overindulge, and that's when the problems arise.
Do you find when you were sort of competing abroad, were you actually set to a specific meal? Or
I used to struggle in like the Asian countries because I didn't always like what they had, and a lot of the stuff out there would be fish, or you didn't know how it was cooked or things like that. And I think I can remember one competition, I think I lived off cereal and toast because I knew I liked that. Maybe the odd rice dish, but you'd be quite fussy and picking it all out.
Yeah.
But
This must have, I'm really wanting to let the whole team dig in. So
yeah, well, I'm going to season mine with a little bit of pepper.
Okay.
Just because it adds a little bit extra to it. And then, yeah, let's give it a go.
So what do we have again? We have
It's pasta bake, chicken and bacon pasta bake, with chicken soup, cheese, peas, sweet corn.
So thanks to the ex-boyfriend's nan.
Yeah. You got to steal something somewhere along the line.
Right, should we dig in?
Yes, I'm looking forward to this bit.
Okay, so my cave girl paleo diet, I'm straight in for the meat.
That's good.
Really
I do
good.
say so myself.
Yeah, the ex-boyfriend's nan. It's a winning recipe. It's great.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for coming on today. It's been great to find out more about you and to hear what you're up to. And yeah, you're an absolute superstar.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.